Very exciting day because today is the day that finally Kingpin and also Yellow Jacket have been buffed. And Kingpin, ever since he came out, I've always liked him. I always knew that he had potential. I mean, he was usable, but he wasn't like as good as he is now, I guess. He had a lot of potential when he came into the game. He's actually, it doesn't feel like it, but he's been in the game for like a year or so now, I think, or maybe even 2 years. I don't even know. But essentially, he basically has the same kit, more or less, but he has some tune ups to his damage, and he does have, like Daredevil Hell's Kitchen, he has a lower base regeneration rate, and he's immune to all regeneration rate effects except poison. And now his rage stacks are now actually considered debuffs, so that's really, really good for willpower. And if you play him correctly, he has his rage all the time anyways, so that's why he has the reduction to his base regeneration rate. His non-rage debuff Purify chance to convert into rages are 60%, but if you have, I'm not sure what synergy it is, I think it's a synergy with one of the defenders, you gain plus 100% Purify chance, which is really, really good. And he gains his rage debuffs, which give him more 5% power gain, or 5% more combative power rate, and he also gains a little bit of damage as well. And these stack up to I think 8. So at like when it goes into 8, he transfers into overpowered. So when you're at 7, you have like your 398 attack times 7, and you also have 35% more combat power rate, which is really, really good. It allows you to actually race up to specials faster than your opponent, and it's really, really cool. That's what I always like that about Kingpin in general, is that he actually had increased combat power rate with his rage. I just wish that his rage did more back then, but now it's so good because now he gains like a 3,000. I only have him at rank 3 right now, but he gains a 3,000 attack when he goes into overpower. And his overpowered state was always just a little bit underwhelming. And his heavy attacks now give him plus 3,000 physical resistance, and he gains an unstoppable buff rather than a passive. So when you're playing against him on defense, he's going to be a little bit more annoying because he has more physical resistance when he has when he uses heavy attacks. But he gains buffs now rather than passives, so he's going to be fueling Mystic Dispersion. It would be really interesting if his rage was actually counted as buffs, because him getting up to like at least like 7 of those counting as buffs would be crazy for Mystic matchups. But when he lands 3 heavy attacks, he gains a 1,000 plus Fury buff, or attack rating Fury buff, for 14 seconds, which is always really good. And off his special one also got a little bit of a tune-up. Instead of a black ISO debuff, it actually counts as a degen. And degen's I don't think anyone has that immunity. Besides like Spider-Ham, who has like a kind of immunity to it, but the damage itself isn't like the thing that's really good about it. The thing that's really good about it is that the opponent suffers minus 50% attack and 65% defensive ability accuracy, which is like evades, auto blocks, and all that type of stuff, which is really, really good to have. His special 2 is completely the same, I think, except that the final clause is changed out now that either champion lands a attack, he gains 50% chance to gain a rage, which is really, really good because before you actually had to get hit to gain rage, which was always annoying because that was always just kind of like a defensive type of thing, so it wasn't really made for offense, which was, it wasn't really that useful for anything besides on defense, and no one really places Kingpin on defense anyways. His special 3 gives him 4 rage, which I think it only used to give him 2, so that's doubled, and it refreshes all overpower buffs, which I think is the same, but The final thing that they gave him is that he has a 100% chance to give a 3.5-second stun, which is really, really good. He never actually had this before, and that's it. You know, it allows him to just kind of, because it refreshes all your overpowered buffs, which is just big furies. And then when they're stunned, when they come out of it, it's just really, really good to just get your innings and use the damage. But he does really benefit from a high signature level and being awakened. So I don't have that right now as the 5-star. And I only have him at rank 3. But I had a little bit of testing that I was doing before I actually did this video, and he absolutely rocks long distance relationship. And in it's 6.1.3, this ghost chapter here, we have, I think, yeah, we can take this in. This was the synergy team that I brought in. Mysterio doesn't really matter. I just kind of need to throw in champion. But now the fact that we have Elektra here allows us to have 100% debuff purification chance. So every time that the node long distance relationship applies a weakness onto us, we're gonna get a rage, and it increases our combative power rate, and it increases our damage. So it's just so crazy. It just fuels him up so much. And this is only a rank 3 5-star unawakened. So let's see what we can do here. So we start off with 2 rage because we also have that synergy as well. I don't know, I can't remember what synergy that is. We just got a weakness on us. That's actually the first. Do I actually have all the synergies? Let's see. Yeah, okay, there it is. Now, every time that the node applies a weakness onto us, we're just gonna gain a rage. And then it just fuels up his damage so much. That's a pretty good special too right there. Now we just want to bait a special out. Well, it doesn't really matter. Also, with the Mr. Sinister synergy, which really benefits him here, he applies a power lock on the opponent. I don't know how long the power lock is. Oh, I should have did that a little bit earlier. But it applies a power lock onto the opponent every time they throw a special attack. But let's just throw off the special 3. We have Overpower right now, which gives us 3,000 more attack, plus the Fury buff that we gain off the heavy attacks as well. That's a 6k. I mean, that wasn't that much. We can gain multiple Overpowers here because of all the debuffs that we're getting, and we're just purifying them into rage. Now we have 2 Overpowers, I think. The opponent is power locked right now. I prefer throwing off them special 2s, but especially with Overpower, because with Overpower, his special attacks become unblockable. So let's just throw this. Pretty decent. Go for a backdraft right here. We're just gaining rage like crazy. And this isn't, to preface, this isn't a normal Kingpin matchup. This is because long distance relationships just giving us so much rage. And we're just gaining so much more attack and so much more power gain off every single hit, and it's just fueling him so much. He's doing so well in this Act 6 content, even at a rank 3 unawakened. But he does benefit off the awakened ability because he does start off with like, what is it, up to like 4? I can't remember what it is, but he gains up to 4 rage at the start of the fight. Plus, with the synergy, he gains +2. So you can gain up to like, I think it's up to 5. So you can gain up to like 7 rages. And it's so good. Just to start off the fight with. So let's just get into this vision matchup. That first one, we did have class advantage or class disadvantage. So, you know, this one should be a little bit more smooth going through. But his awakened ability, after every time he goes out of overpowered as well, he also gains like a bunch of like rages coming out of it, so you can just race to another overpowered. So you could just start cycling overpowereds like mad. So it's so much better. But you know, even the unawakened version here is still really, really good. Need him to throw a special attack. I didn't get my dash in, but you know, that's fine. We have overpowered now. So now our special attacks are completely unblockable. We have the unstoppable now, so we're getting more rages. Now we have the double overpowereds. Throw your special, my friend. You know what? You don't have to. Let's just go. Don't special 3. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Now he's power locked. Now what we want to do here is parry and then heavy attack him out of existence. So now we have 2 overpowers. We have Rage and we have the Fury from the heavy attacks. All right, let's see. Boom. We didn't get the one thing that he suffers from is that he doesn't have a high crit rate, which is the issue. It's definitely a big issue that he has, but I mean, you know, he just has so much raw damage now that he could just power through it no matter what. I feel like the low crit chance is kind of you know, there's a reason for it, but he's just going through these Act 6 opponents. I will say that his buff is definitely a lot more impressive than Yellow Jacket's. Yellow Jacket, you know, it's just going to be more annoying on defense. And now in Variant 3, since Yellow Jacket's like the boss in every single one, it's going to be a little bit more annoying to go for the completion of that. But also another thing to keep in mind is that Kingpin here does have a little bit of a lower block proficiency, if I'm not mistaken. So he is taking a little bit more damage on those blocked hits. So he suffers like what Cull Obsidian has, which isn't the worst thing in the world. You know, you could just power through things. We already have overpowered now. All right, that was a pretty decent special. Go for an intercept right here. We have 2 overpowereds now. Throw your special. We should have retaliated with a heavy attack, but that's okay. 4K on those specials, not bad. We're hitting like 2K non-crits off the mediums. That's so nice. Use a special attack. Come on, come on. Oh, no. Come on, use your special, man. What is with these guys being so stingy? See, the thing is that you could take advantage of like your opponents being super aggressive, and you could just gain so much more rage so much more quickly with like your special 2s and such, because you gain the rage off the unstoppable. Let's just go for heavy attacks, really. Ooh, oh, that wasn't the play there. I mean, you know, besides the little bit of bad gameplay there, my part, you could see that just even with a rank 3 here, he's still crushing this content, and he's just so much more useful and so much more fun. Kingpin is, even though he was really bad before, he was always just kind of, I always had a soft spot for him because his special 3 and his animations and everything, he's such a cool champion to play. He also has a really good heavy attack spam in the corner as well, which really benefits his heavy attack when he gains furies off his heavies. So, you know, there's just so much to this character that I always liked, and now it's just way better. I just really need him awakened. Okay, whoa, Winter Soldier, my friend. Absolutely just outplayed me right there. And I think also, his awakened ability, whenever he comes out of unstoppable, he gains rages, I think. Like, I think it's when you come out of overpower and out of unstoppables. So that also goes for his heavy attacks, because his heavy attacks count as unstoppable buffs now rather than passives, which I think is why they did that. But, you know, he is putting out some pretty solid damage for a rank 3 5-star. Just go for a special 3 or special 2 there. Go for a heavy attack. I want him to use his special, but you know, if he's going to be a little bit stingy, then we're just going to go into overpowered here. Because it's better to have him throw off his special into my block, I guess, his special 2, because it's all about the amount of contact that happens. Alright. Let's go into another special 2 here. If he was just playing a little bit more ball, then we could start cycling overpowered like we were in the long distance relationship chapter in Act 6. Because oh my god, I'm just getting absolutely clobbered here. Okay, alright. God gameplay engage. All right. So we're hitting 2K, almost 2K. Let's gain up those rage because we could just shoot up to special attacks so easy with that increased combat power rate. And the fact that he goes power locked after his special attacks is just so good. Just throw off our heavies because we can. Will he play into the backdraft? He will not. Let's go for heavies again. 9K off the heavy. But that increased physical resistance you get off your heavy attacks as well is so nice. Because that just means that you know, you can chain them on with a little bit more with a little bit less risk, because it, you know, you get 3,000 plus physical resistance off those. So there's a lot less whoa. He's so aggressive sometimes, and then sometimes he just absolutely isn't. But let's just throw out this special 3. I absolutely love the animation ever since he came out. I always wanted him as a 5-star, so when I got him as a 5-star, it's just so surreal. 10K off that. We have the 3-second stun. Now, I don't know what the optimal combo is after that stun, but let's see what we can do here. Let's not get clipped here by backdrafts. So now we have 7 rage. So we're just teetering on the we're just teetering before we go into overpowered there. Now we have both furies. We have the unstoppable. What is that lag? Oh, you played into the backdraft. Let's go into another special 2. See, this is what you want to see. You want to see your opponents falling for your backdrafts, just so you can. You also want them to use their specials as well, so you can just cycle overpowereds and just get so much rage that you can just cycle those special 2s way more often. Because right now, I think we have 30% increased combat power rate. Now we have 35. So you could just shoot up to those specials so much more quickly. Just throw off those heavy attacks. Ooh, oh, we squeezed it right in there. Alright. Backdraft, you love to see it. And since he's power locked, he just can't do anything about it. Okay, we're not in that is an overpowered Fury. I wish there was a distinct difference between the overpowered Fury and the heavy attack Fury, so you know which one's which. And my friend, I think the optimal playing style would have to be, let's see, let's do this. I think the optimal playing style would be, if we, especially for this synergy team, is to bait out special attacks before going into your special 2. So you don't have to wait for that to go down, so they have no power. Let's just do that. We are in overpowered now. He's power locked. He fell for the backdraft. We're going to go into a special 2 here. We're unblockable, overpowered. We want to bait out the special. Make it quick. You have that 3,000 physical resistance off our heavies, so we don't need to worry. I just love how you're able to shoot up to special attacks way more quickly. Whoa, those are some nice numbers. Whoa, you're not taking this away from me. What the jeez? There was a snowball that came at my window. Holy, I was so scared. Sorry, lads. Jesus. Oh my lord. Oh, I was so concentrated on getting that fight down. Oh my lord. Ah, Jesus. But as you can see, Kingpin after his buff is just so much more fun to play. And you know, any character that has unblockability off their like special attacks or anything like that is always gonna have a soft spot in my heart. And I don't know, Kingpin's always been just kind of one of those champions that I've had a guilty pleasure over. He's just so much fun to just kind of play around with, even though he wasn't that good. But now that he is good, now I can actually take him up with some pride. And I hope that you guys also enjoy this buff. Leave a comment down below any fun uses that you've had with this champion, and I'll see you guys in the next one.